G'day guys, how you going? It's Rez, just doing an update video for SRProject, showing you all the stuff that's been done since the last video. I've made a main menu which loads, well, as you'd expect when the game loads. In there you can go into your settings and change your full screen and windowed resolution, stuff like that. Exit game and just shows the version number and all that sort of junk. Click on new game, it launches in and throws you into a space station where you can buy your first ship. I don't know if that's how the game will start, but it is for the moment. So you're inside the space station. You can go up into the trade menu, and the trading window up the top here will show any items that the space station has for sale. Because you don't have a ship set at the moment, down the bottom here, you have no inventory that you can stick any items into that you purchase. So the first thing you have to do is buy a ship. I've updated the mouse over details windows to give a little picture of the item you're buying. So at least with ships it gives you an idea of what they look like. So we'll buy a ship. Now when you buy a ship, it doesn't go into your inventory, it goes into the ship's hangar because you can't stick a ship in your back pocket. So yeah, you click down on hangar, it'll give you a list here that shows any ships you own. So if I go back and buy the other ship, excuse me, and go back into the hangar, there's now 2 ships there. Same deal with the mouse over windows. I need to figure out what to do with them because they get cut off down the bottom of the screen, you can see. But you set one as the current ship, and now you have an inventory accessible up here, and also it just gives you a little picture. I'm not sure what I want to do with that later on, maybe a 3D model or something that you could click and drag around, and it also indicates the hard points you have available on the ship. If you click a ship that's stored, it will load the inventory for that ship here, which will let you transfer items between the 2 ships. So if I go to trade and I'll just buy some stuff, some whiskey and some pancakes, blah blah blah, and then go back into the hangar, we now have a bunch of items in the inventory. And if I click on the stored ship, I can click on an item there and then click on move to stored ship, which will transfer that item down, which fully supports stacking and all that junk. And you can also do the reverse, so moving it to your current ship. Then we have the outfit ship window. This lets you attach items to any hard points on the ship. The little dodgy ship I've made has only 2 at the moment, but as you get better ships you have whatever 4, 5, 6 hard points you can chuck junk on. It detects if an item's available to be slotted. So, well, the engine is just basically a text item at the moment. It doesn't really exist, so you can't assign that to a hard point, same as you can't put pancakes or whiskey in a hard point. The only items I've got in game at the moment that you can are the dev weapons, which is kind of like an auto cannon. So we go back to outfit ship, and we can slot them into the hard points. Once you have an item slotted, you can't stick anything else in there. It'll disable the button. You have to remove the item out before you can put something else in there. And that's how that works. Once you get your current ship set, you can undock. I'll just remove that one to give a demo of something. Now, because there's no actual story or anything built yet, I don't know how to start the game. When you first load in, it shoves you into the 000 coordinate of the map until you dock with the space station, at which point it will remember the station you've docked with and spit you outside when you undock. So yeah, here's the basic space flight so far. There's 3 stations hanging around. You can tab target through them. Alpha, Beta, or Gamma, Beta, Alpha. They color code their names by their threat level, so green is friendly. The Beta station's supposed to be hostile, which would be red, and the Gamma is blue, which is neutral. The little green-yellow dot you can see above the ship at the moment is just a development tool for working out where the camera's sitting in relation to the ship. If you see, it lags a little bit. So if you pitch or yaw or whatever, the camera doesn't go one-to-one with the ship, which can make you a bit motion sick. Yeah, so if I approach Alpha Station, I should also demo that if you press a certain key, it opens up a targets in range window, which also lets you click through the various ships and gives you a distance to them. That will update in real time. And if you tab through, it'll update which one you've got selected and all that sort of junk. At the moment the scan range is set to, I think, 2 kilometers, so which one's closest to furthest at the moment? So Beta Station, when it gets to 2 it'll disappear. There you go. Alright, so we will select the Alpha Station, and when you get to within 500 meters it will pop up saying it's interactable, which can be enabled and disabled for any station or NPC later on. That will let you dock with the ship or station. So press the interact key and you've got 2 options there. You can just close it or you can dock with the ship, which will shove you into its hangar. And now we're in, and the stations will remember that you've docked with them and will eventually have their own custom inventories, but for now it just all comes out of one CSV file. But they'll have their own later on, depending on where they're located in space and how, I don't know, your reputation is with them, stuff like that. So if I undock again, actually no, I'll go to Outfit Ship. So you see there we've got the hardpoint item, Dev Weapon 1 slotted in hardpoint 1, which is on the right wing. If we undock, you'll see that the item is actually attached to the spaceship down there, see? Right wing. We can now, what I actually did yesterday is, if you see in the middle bottom, there's a quick slot item, and that will auto-populate depending on how many hard points the ship has and what you have slotted into it. So at the moment we have Dev Weapon 1 slotted in hardpoint 2. You can select that with a number key. I'm going to add a clickable probably later today. So you can select that and you can fire it off, which is pretty cool. It has the single fire mode, and you can also press a button and get automatic fire, which is pretty fun. And yeah, another thing to show is the fact that when you shoot things, the impact will generate a small explosion. So I think I'm set on single fire mode. There we go. Ignore the dev message on the right, on the top left in the console. It's just showing that it's actually, the ammunition's actually impacting something. But if you see, it will do a little lighting effect and explode when it hits something. Much cooler if you do it on automatic fire mode. Excuse me. And if you fly up, it also plays a sound depending on how close you are to the target that you're hitting. Hopefully you'll be able to hear it. Maybe not closer, I might have to increase the volume a bit. Kind of hear it there. And so if we go back and dock with Alpha Station again, get to within 500, interact. Also you can't dock unless you're completely stopped. I'm not sure, I might change that later so you can fly into a hangar or something instead. So we'll go back in, we'll attach the other dev weapon, which is also just an autocannon for the moment. Assign that. Then undock, and now you'll see there's a weapon on each wing. So there we go. You have down the bottom an item in hardpoint 1, hardpoint 2. You can switch between them. Don't know how loud my keyboard is in this. And between auto fire mode. Oh, wrong button. There we go. And you can switch on the fly. Pretty cool. I think that's about it. I could show you the basic spaceflight, which you've seen most of already. You can increase the thrust. At the moment I've set it to, I think it's 150 meters a second as your top speed. Yeah. And some little particle effects and stuff when you're flying through space, just so you know you're moving if there's nothing around to look at. What else we got? You can do all the usual. Roll, left and right, pitch, forward and back. Oh, and I added VTOL as well, so you can... It's just a bit hard to see here. I'll go up to the station to be able to see it better. You can change the acceleration and roll rates and everything for the ships as you build them. So there we go. There's VTOL. So I could actually, I'll demo that. It's supported by the Unreal 4 physics engine. So if these stations are rotating, if I land or get in front of this, it should push me around with itself. So there we go, you can see the star fields rotating. I should say the stations rotating rather. But yeah, you can take off vertically. Or if you want to go down and smash into it really fast, you can go backwards as well. It will also push you around and flatten you out if you're at a weird angle. Boom. There we go. So I think that'll do it. I guess the last thing you could do is, if you press escape, it opens up the options menu, which lets you resume or lets you quit out. It'll save your progress on the fly. I need to put a little indicator, and you can continue. Well, that'll do for this video, so thanks for watching, and hopefully you guys will check back and see more development stuff in the future. Cheers.